hosting. Doing a real bad job. Y'all threw me off. David being here is throwing me off, and I'm talking over the intro, so it's fine. Yeah. Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of the Divinely Uninspired podcast. And that was some Christmas music to start off because Halloween is over and it's Christmas season officially in at least my heart and soul. So I'm getting some looks around the room. Well, I'm here with Penny, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Too early.
Okay, well that's question number one. Too early. Yeah. I'm also here with Jeremy, who's on his phone, but he's got a lot going on.
Yeah, I do. It's okay though. I'm here.
Hello is what I was looking for, but that's good too. All right, and we've got a special guest, and his name is David, and I don't know if you all recognize him from the news. He's a big deal.
Oh, don't even start with that. Good morning. Good morning.
So how would you describe yourself and what you do here for all the wonderful people at Journey?
Well, I would like to say that I try to help with the building as much as possible and volunteer in youth. That's pretty much my identity with Journey, I guess I could say.
Well, we appreciate both of those things because stuff that most people, as we've seen, don't care to do. But hey, volunteering is good. Anybody else who wants to help out, volunteer in the youth, it's always
welcome, by all means, anytime.
Yeah. So how's everybody been doing since the last episode?
Didn't we just meet?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks?
Hasn't been 2 weeks.
I know.
Yeah, we do every other week.
Well,
doing good.
Typically we have like a big Halloween talk, and we have a big and this year we just said forget it. Did y'all have a good Halloween, Penny?
Yeah, it was fine.
Did you dress up?
No. Did I?
Okay.
I don't think
Jeremy,
so.
how was
Well, I'm trying to think of what I did for Halloween. No, so Halloween was kind of lame. So my neighborhood, it's an established neighborhood in the fact that it's been there for a long time. So it's a lot of older folks. And so like this year we had some new families move in. And so we were like, hey, we always go somewhere else to do trick-or-treating because there's no kids in our neighborhood hardly. So this year we were like, let's do it. So like I built like a big fire out in the driveway and like put out some camping chairs and had a bunch of candy and then had like glow sticks I was going to give out and then had like a cooler of drinks for the parents too as they walked and all this stuff. And I was like, man, it's going to be great. I'm going to know all my neighbors. We had one trick-or-treater the whole night. And the only reason that guy came is because he saw Jamie and the kids riding the golf cart around, and she was like, nobody's been there. You should go there and see him. So he drove down just to say hi.
So that was a sympathy trick-or-treat is what we're saying. Oh, no.
But did you give them everything then?
Oh, I gave their kids so much candy. I was like,
awesome.
Here you go. And
well, that's good. They cleaned up.
Yeah, we sat down and had a drink and sat by the fire, and then he went on his way, and I was alone by myself for the rest of the night.
Well,
that's Halloween.
That's real sad. Well, hey, real quick before I ask David, if you were to dress up as something this year, Penny, what would you dress up as?
We're not wearing costumes this year?
Oh, it's post Halloween.
I would be a Pokemon.
All right.
A what?
Anybody in particular?
I really like Snorlax and Psyduck. Because I always have a headache.
I know both.
What is Snorlax?
Snorlax is the one that likes to sleep all the time.
He gets in the way. He gets in the path. He blocks.
It sounds like something from Dr. Seuss.
Now, Jeremy, who would you be dressed up as?
I would be dressed up as Mr. T.
Ooh, that's dicey.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Not sure that's appropriate.
I don't know about that either. But that's
Mr. T.
What about you, David?
Well, Halloween plans. I went down to Tennessee. My dad just built some cabins down there that he's using for short-term rentals. So went down there to visit. So we had our whole family, the cousins, my aunt and uncle were there, grandparents were there, sat around the campfire. So didn't do any trick-or-treating or anything like that, but we were able to spend some time with family. That was nice. But as far as what I would dress up as, I don't think I would ever dress up, to be honest with you. I think that phase of my life has passed. I don't know if I could do it. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, can I tell you a story about me dressing up this year?
Well, just real quick, I was going to say, I only asked them that question because usually we say, what are we dressed up as on Halloween? And 2 years in a row, Penny has been Taylor Swift, and 2 years in a row, Jeremy has been Oscar the Grouch.
Oh, that's right.
2 years. And then 2 years in a row, we've talked about nerd cereal and Halloween. If you go back and listen to the other episodes, I had to cut in. Last year was almost a best of episode because it was everything from the year before that I was like, guys, we got to.
You know, they used to do like a Super Mario Brothers
cereal
as well.
Okay. We're going to let Jeremy tell the story.
No, wait a minute. We got to go. Wait a minute. Is that what we're doing?
Jeremy had a story.
I did actually dress up this year.
I did too, actually. And I forgot.
I dressed up. We did. But it wasn't for Halloween. It was for,
same.
It was for our friends do a murder mystery night. And so they did monsters this year. And so I was Count Dracula. Oh. And so like they had prizes for like best costume and like staying in character all night and like best death scene. Because like it's like a murder mystery where like you don't know going to the party who's going to get killed and who doesn't and all that stuff, and you got to figure out who the killer is. It's kind of like Clue, but like a real live action. So I've done it a couple times. So this year was monsters, and so I was Dracula, and so I was like, I'm going all out. So I bought fangs that you glue onto your teeth. Yeah, so I didn't read the instructions. I just, like, it came with these little glue pellets that, like, it looked like on the picture because it was from Amazon and it was cheap. So I don't know where they came from. I mean,
the glue?
Well, the whole
I wouldn't use the Amazon glue, but the rest of it.
So you put them in the microwave and you melt the pellets and then you put it on the back of the teeth and like stick it on your tooth. Well,
I'm having a nervous breakdown over here.
I did it and like, they weren't sticking. So I was like, well, I just need to do more glue. So I did more glue. And turns out, like, you know, I finally got them to stick on. But then, like, the whole night, I'm like, I don't know if I can get these things off. Like, because, like, finally my character died. So I was like, I'm going to take these fangs out. And I could not get them off at first. So the next day, I'm at the gym. And the girl that works at the front desk
still
is
wearing
dressed
the
up.
fangs.
No, I got them off finally. But she's dressed up as a vampire too. And I was like, oh, are those glue-on fangs? And she's like, yeah. I was like, I got them on and I could not. Like, I was freaking out about the glue. And she was like, well, did you put them in water first? And I was like, nope, didn't read that at all. So you're supposed to dilute it with water, then microwave it, and it creates like a paste you put on your tooth. So I was basically I just literally put hot glue. Like, I mean, it was like hot too. Like on my tooth, like I could feel it when I was putting it on. Like it was like lava.
I don't think you should tell people that story.
If you listen very long, you know that these people are famously anti-dentistry too. So that'd be real shameful. Go with your tail tucked between your legs and say, like, "Oh, can you take these fangs off?" So, Penny, what were you then?
Oh, we went to a Day of the Dead party. It was fun. Got to
Dias de los Muertos.
Yeah, we did. That was fun.
What were you dressed up as?
We dressed up like.
This guy is the worst. He's laughing like he said something funny. That's the all right. Well,
he's done.
So this year we went out like we did last year when the friends of ours, they go all in. Their whole family they have a theme, and this year was video game characters, and we kind of did a cop out, and we were the Sims, and we just wore
I saw that picture.
The green things on our heads because last year I don't know if you remember. Check local listings. It was about 80 degrees on Halloween, or it rained, I guess. And the next day when we went, it was hot. And the year before, it was about 25 degrees. And we're like, we are not going to commit to a costume until we see the weather. I'm like, we could just dress up as whatever because, hey, you got your costume ready to go. So,
did you guys go in front of the stove and like jump around? You know, whenever the stove catches on fire in The Sims and they go crazy and they're just sitting there jumping around.
Listen, I'll be honest. My wife loves The Sims. I've never played it, but
I have never played The Sims. Have you played The Sims, Jeremy?
No, I've never played The Sims.
If you can see, you can't because it's not on camera. I learned Nicole taught me a couple of things.
There you go.
I was dealing with a kidney stone, so I would just go, and a little bit of gibberish.
Yep, the gibberish is it.
I never played The Sims. Wasn't it a computer game?
It was,
It was and is. We also have it for the Wii. All right. So
I only played Wolfenstein on the computer.
Sweet goodness. All right.
Oregon Trail.
Wolfenstein was great.
Yep.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wolfenstein was a 3D game, and you would shoot Nazis, and it was the first
what a game.
It was like the first 3D game, and you were escaping. And
what year was this?
And then they came out with Duke Nukem. They took it to a different level.
Duke Nukem was it.
Duke Nukem, Quake. We had big LAN parties.
But it started with Wolfenstein.
Yeah. It was before Doom. You don't know. You're looking at me like you've never heard any of these games.
No, never.
Right. Well, it was great.
Okay.
Mecha Hitler was a big deal. All right. So we're going to follow up from, he was the bad guy. He was Hitler in a robot costume. Blew him up. We didn't like shake his hand at the end. We were anti-Hitler. All right. We're taking a firm anti-Hitler stance on the podcast.
Very firm.
So wrapping up last week, 2 weeks ago, the heisters got caught.
Yeah, they did.
So
they did.
Yeah. Was it because neither one of you all were actually in charge of the whole deal? Because I know you were both very...
But they didn't make a big deal out of it, right? Like it kind of like was sidelined in the news that these guys were the heist. And it turned out that, I guess it's hitting social media because they're both like young and good looking. I don't know. I could be completely wrong about that. I don't know.
People. Well, this is not the people. This is a pyramid. So feel free to not stare at the TV. So tell us, Penny, what you seem to be... well read on what has happened to these people. So
I actually don't know too much about it because I don't feel like the news really spoke about it that much, but social media has had them posted their mugshots. Do you remember that guy a while, probably I'm talking to a bunch of men right
You're talking
now.
about Luigi?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Either Luigi Mangione or
Yes.
the other guy. He was kind of like a brown shaded guy that everyone was like, oh, I would bail him out of jail.
Yes, the
That was-
mugshot.
yeah.
Well, this is the same thing. Apparently,
Oh,
like their
no.
mugshots are, everybody's like, what?
I don't understand.
Oh, that's them right there, yeah.
I don't understand the fascination with, we know that they are suspected criminals. Why are we saying we're going to, exactly, there it is. There's the photo. Why are we wanting to bail him out because he's good looking? He might be, doing some bad stuff, guys.
I mean, I find this funny that was on the Cosmopolitan
Yeah. Listen, people
website for
think-
that's a women's magazine.
Listen, as a married person, what you want is someone attractive that is somewhere else. You're like, that's my spouse.
What?
But they're locked.
Please explain yourself right now.
I don't understand.
You can just say, hey, this is who I'm married to, but I don't really have to listen to them or do anything.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're moving
We've been married
on.
a long time. She just listens to the podcast. It's fine. And I don't, and the kids don't either. So no one tell her. All right. So anyway, we had a big talk last week, and apparently these guys not too bright because they got caught in 2 weeks' time. So
I mean, it was kind of bound to happen. How are they going to sell those?
Yeah, I
just
was
chop
also
them up?
wondering the same thing. Like, how are you going to sell these things that you stole? Are you just going to keep them? Or are you going to chop them up into different pieces and
You
then
have
try to get
a
rid of
giant
those?
diamond, break it in half. You got 2 really big diamonds.
Well, how are you going to break that diamond? You got to have another diamond. You got to steal another diamond to break this diamond.
This would have been the leader of the thing, not you two. This
No,
guy,
I
he already
definitely
has
would
a-
have been the leader.
No, I would have gone Team David.
No,
Team David
no.
with for the heist, and then throwing Jeremy under the bus. It's great. We're just
What would you have done? What would you have done?
absolutely nothing. I told you that. I would have pretended
Why
like
would we
I
put
could
you
not
on
do
the team then?
anything.
Why would we put you on the team then if you're not doing anything?
Who's making lunch?
Penny would be the distraction. We just put Penny in there to
Jeremy's
distract.
making lunch. It's definitely not me.
Jeremy's response was amazing. All right. Well, so let me ask y'all something. Now, this is
I'm gonna go steal some slippers.
They're worth
That's true.
$32 million. Shut your
that's,
mouth.
That's true. Those slippers.
Well, you can't cut those slippers up and sell the slippers. So what do you do with the
David,
slippers?
Nobody
you
wants to
sit
buy the
and
slippers.
watch.
You wear them. We take turns wearing them.
Nobody wants
TV
to
in
wear
them.
the slippers.
All right. Well, this is last week's episode again. All right. So let me ask y'all something. It's very much against the
Oh,
law.
what about the Disney? Was there an update on the Disney thieves? The
No,
paddle-
I
the
think they realized that that's a.
like who cares? You stole $10,000.
Well, I think that's a. I do think it's an inside deal, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, let's try to cover this up." No updates on the Disney heist. So
It was the DuckTales.
Ooh, I know. Oh my gosh, Paul.
I'm sorry. All right. Well, we're just going to leave. David, it was good having you. I'm so sorry. This is what
He
you
has
wanted.
no
Thank you guys
idea
for
what we're
having me.
talking about.
All right. So it's very illegal to steal things from a museum. Yes. Well, let me ask you something. And David, you do, contract work. Some would call you a man.
Okay.
Here with the boys and
Some would.
And-
Thank you, Jeremy.
David's
I appreciate
a man.
that.
Some would call you that.
Yeah.
well,
thank you.
if you could see us all, he's the manliest of the group, I'd imagine. No offense. Jeremy's got quite a beard.
Yeah.
But what makes a traffic sign a legal traffic sign?
Illegal traffic?
So, you see your stop signs, you got
Yep.
your yield that the city puts up, but what are these, from time to time during the week, I'll see a sign that clearly someone has just bought on Amazon and put up in their parking lot of like a restaurant or something. Mm-hmm. Does anybody know the legality of what makes it?
I want to say if it's on private property, if I'm not mistaken, if it's on private property, you can have whatever signage that you want. That's why like restaurants and banks will have, this is bank parking only and all of that stuff. But I think if it's within a certain distance off of the side of the road and can be seen visibly, that makes it an illegal sign. It has to be put up by the Department of Transportation or the city, to my knowledge.
Wow, that was so professional.
Listen, this is why he's here. We got traffic talk with David. That's
Traffic Talk with David, TTD.
well. So there's the McDonald's that I frequent once a week, and I stop and get a coffee on the way to my job, and they've got a no right turn sign out of their parking lot. But it makes no sense to make a left turn because then you're pulling into a wider parking lot instead of right out onto the street. And every week I just make that right turn, and I don't understand because you can't put up a no right turn in a private property. That doesn't make any sense as you're leaving the property.
Well, that becomes a civil issue because the civil issue becomes, well, now you are delegating which direction the traffic goes. The city has to be involved in that decision as to where the traffic goes. Like if you're going to say that you can't turn out of here, the city has to be involved in that because you're directing traffic to a direction that may have to go and take a U-turn to go back the direction that they wanted
Yeah.
to. That's crazy.
This
Yeah. I would take this sign down if I was you.
I just drive by and go, woo, and then I shoot at it. And Taylorsville,
Shoot paintballs at it.
Taylorsville does not care for that. So
Where's it at?
it's at the McDonald's in Taylorsville, across from Stone Lakes.
What's the road? So
No,
I've
you pull
learned-
out.
We are doxing them so
No,
hard right now.
I've learned legalities.
It's 45
of
minutes from
roads.
here, so it's
So like, there's county roads, there's state roads, there's city roads, and then there's federal roads. So like, I mean, you just gotta figure out what it is. It's like a county road or like a
no, it's
city
like
road?
pulling out into the road that leads to the street. But like,
what I'm saying, what road is that?
it's Taylorsville Road.
Okay, that's probably a state road then.
So, well,
You can just take it down.
I don't want to take it. I have no dog in the fight, except I will not abide by what it says.
I'm sure Paul just likes being the outlaw that's like, I'm going to do it anyway.
I think it would be fun. Like, I mean, this would probably be highly illegal. Just like take down signs like that and just see how long it before anybody really notices.
Just spin it.
Or like
Point
just
to
put
the-
it up somewhere else.
Put it in the drive-through.
Some other random spot in the drive-through.
Yeah.
As people are turning it in the drive-through, like I can't even pull in here. How do I get to the window?
I've learned if you do things with enough confidence, you can pretty much get away with anything. Just put on a vest and just take the sign.
If you've got a
go,
clipboard
like-
or a ladder, you go wherever
Yeah.
you want.
I don't mean, that's what I was going to say. I don't mean to deter it, but have you guys seen those videos where it's like two guys walk in with a construction vest and a ladder and they just like walk into the
Oh, yeah.
movie
People
theater
will
and they
let you
get
do
free?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just go right in. It's like, oh, wow, I could have been doing this my whole
Take
life.
a ladder to the movie theater.
Yeah.
The
That's
people
it.
that are working there have no clue, so they're not going to call their boss because they don't care.
They don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah, they don't have a dog in the fight, as I like to say
Oh.
a lot.
So I was a different person in high school, and that's what we would do. We would just, if you dress and you look decent, put on some khaki pants and a button-up shirt, and just go someplace. And
Khaki.
people
So-
would just let you anywhere because
So-
you just look like you just walk with authority. We would get on like the roof of hotels and stuff downtown and film things, and like it's fine. No one ever stopped us and asked for anything. And
How did you become a rule follower?
So
I was kind of I was the one making sure that no one was going to fall off the building when
Okay.
we were up there.
So
But
you've always been
a
one.
couple stories I should have brought to last week. So I actually stole a TV one time just because I knew I could do it because I worked at Best Buy. And so we went to the Best Buy in Indiana, and I didn't return the TV. But I took my buddy Jake.
just did it to prove a point.
Yeah, I said it was my whole rule. If you do stuff with enough confidence, you can get away with everything. And because I worked at another Best Buy, I knew where they kept the TV carts. I knew like all this stuff, and so I literally got a TV cart.
just rolled out?
And so the employees in the back are supposed to give you the TV cart, and then you roll it out. That's how but nobody was doing it, and so I was like, I'm just gonna take this TV cart. I'm gonna put this TV on there. I'm gonna walk back there. The security guy's gonna stop me, and I'm gonna say, "Oh, I paid for it at the back kiosk," which is like a thing you would do on certain TVs. And I'm just gonna walk out the door, and I literally did it, and not one person like questioned me or did anything. And I walked out the door, and me and Jake looked at each other, and then we just turned right back around, took the TV inside, and just left it there.
How long
because-
ago was this? Was this
I
like
was
the
in-
500-pound TVs
No,
too? Like,
yeah, it was
a lot of
like
labor
it was
for that.
it was the Sony Wega. Remember the
Oh,
Sony
yeah, yeah,
Wegas
yeah.
that were like,
Yeah.
Shoo.
yeah. So I did that, and then I also got into this ties into what we just talked about. I got into one time where I like to steal street signs. So like if I found like a street name that I really liked, or like stop signs or whatever. I had a crush on a girl in high school named Bonnie, and so I actually drove down 65 to Bonnieville and was going to try to steal that sign. But then we started getting it down, and we realized the truck wasn't big enough to put the sign in, so we didn't take it down. But the reason I got caught was
What a romantic.
I had this old Nissan pickup truck, and so one time my mom was doing something and looked in the back, and she goes, "Why are there like 40 street signs in the back of your truck?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she was like, "You need to go put them all back right now." So then she made me go and put them all back, and I can remember where I got half of them.
That's what I was going to say. How did you remember where to put all these
Yeah.
signs at? You just looking for posts sticking up with no signage attached to them, riding around?
Our senior gift to our high school, North Bullitt High School, was we got parking signs for student parking, and there were like these special parking spots reserved, like you could win awards and get to park in these special parking spots. And so the day we put them up as our gift to the school, me and my buddy Troy, who we talked about last week because he was the Mormon that I played tennis with, we went and stole them that night and then hung them up in our bedroom. So anyway.
So Jeremy's a klepto.
No, I haven't done that in a long time. I was 18 years old.
I don't think you grow out of it. You just haven't done it.
Oh, I stole a Tootsie Roll.
Exactly.
What is this voice? All right. They're putting on a show for you, David.
Yeah, I see that.
It's nice. All right. Well, all right. So then you would not follow those signs. But then let me ask you, because I know the answer to this, because David seems very tech, except for his Apple phone, which I don't care for.
Let's not start with that, Paul.
Would
Android,
you
the enemy?
enjoy a self-driving car?
I would, because my production would go up 10x. I think about that all the time. So like, a lot of our projects that we do are like out of state. So I think about this all the time of like, Chicago, for instance, I had a project there last year, and I thought about the 6-hour drive there and the 6-hour drive back home. Like, how much more productivity could I have done in that? I would absolutely love to have a self-driving car, but the other problem with that is that I'm a complete control freak. I'm going to be completely honest. I am a complete control freak, and so it would take one mistake for this car to make, and I would be like, "Look, you're out. I'm in. You're not driving anymore."
Right?
You know what would be fun though, like to your point about that, would be like if self-driving cars combined with AI and they learn to drive like you would drive.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you know what I'm
a
saying?
horrible idea.
No, but like that's what I'm saying. Like
No.
that would be fun.
No.
Like if it's not just driving you, but it learns to drive the way that you like to drive.
It's
And
cutting
so,
everybody
yeah,
off, blowing
yeah.
smoke everywhere. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Getting really angry and
Yeah,
traffic.
well, I can't say driving.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the
that's what I'm
car's not
saying.
going to get mad.
Oh, it would be
I would
funny if it
furious.
did, though.
I would be.
Oh, that would be
honking.
fun.
They're like, I'm not honking.
If your car got bad in traffic like we do, let's
Start
start
honking.
honking.
Yeah. So yeah, speaking of traffic, yesterday Jeremy and I really wanted to go play pickleball because it was so beautiful outside, and 61 was like a absolute parking lot, so we didn't get to play pickleball. I just felt like I'd share that.
No.
Yeah, it took me an
That's what we're here
hour.
for.
It took me an hour because I take Paxton to basketball. It took me an hour from my house to get from my house to Bullitt Central, which is a
That's crazy.
5-mile drive. 1 hour.
Yeah. Well,
It took me 35 minutes to get to work this morning.
I mean, I'm sure anybody listening is probably on all about Shepherdsville. I'm pretty excited about this Bell's Mill closing.
Oh, that's
I don't even
going
want
to
to
be
talk about
Oh, I
it.
haven't even heard about it. What are we talking
Closing
about?
for 6 months.
Bell's Mill's
No
closing for 6
Yes.
months.
It
And that's
starts
like
now.
May.
That's like the cut through road for 44. Like you don't even want to
David
drive.
just found out
You
that-
don't even want to drive on 44 during that time.
Sorry,
It's
David.
going to be a hot mess.
This would be a good time to invest in a church helicopter
Yeah.
or something like that.
I don't live here, and I felt bad for all the people because
Yeah.
it was quite a show on all about Shepherdsville. You know, people, your opinions are actually on the internet forever. I would watch what you
Be
say.
very, very conservative about how you put your opinions on the internet, for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of real anger. I was on, since I don't live here, I wasn't on that. I was on We Are Dixie Highway, which was similar, and I just had to get off because I'm like, these people.
Oh,
These
I would
people
love
are
to
all,
read those.
They're all angry. Well, you can join it. You don't have to. You can
I'm
be
not
from
on
Dixie
Facebook.
Highway. You don't have to be. You were always on Chuck E.
We
Cheese
should
there.
just start like rage baiting
like-
people on all about
No,
Chuck E.
no.
Yes.
That's the pastor of my
start doing-
church, rage
No, I
baiting
mean,
people.
we'll
And then you're like, come
We'll make
repent.
anonymous
No.
accounts like everybody else
Yeah,
does.
what is that called? It's called something. The teenagers call it something.
Bots.
Bots, yeah, bot accounts and rage baiting, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's called something.
Like what he's
We
doing right
sound like
now.
a bunch of old people.
He is. I mean, I don't know if you've listened. We've sounded like a bunch of old people.
I think after
We
this,
just
we all
talked-
need to go touch grass.
I do. I like to touch grass.
I ground every morning.
Yeah, I do grounding.
Oh, I
yeah.
like grounding. I ground.
Yeah, every morning.
Yeah.
I
I
love
do
it.
ground
Do
at night.
Look at
Do you
Paul
ground,
right
Paul?
now.
Just my kids when they talk. Listen, dad humor, that's terrible. All right. Well, then let's move on to the next thing. So they did not get to play pickleball. I lost it. Oh, but did you?
Oh, can I tell you a funny pickleball story?
Please do. It better be funny.
This was good. So last week, because it goes back into what we were just talking about, like with kids and using stupid words. So last week we were playing. It was me and James. We were playing, and the score got to 6-7.
Oh boy.
6, 7?
Yeah, no, seriously. And so there's a basketball.
Everyone doing the hand
so
movement.
like he's on the opposite side of the court, and there's the basketball court right behind it. So he goes, it's 6-7, and all of these teenage kids stopped playing basketball and just started going like. And I was just like, what kind of world do we live in? Like, they're not even
Real dumb.
involved in our game, but they heard 6-7 and they just stopped playing basketball and started
saying
doing it.
Oh man, yeah. Real quick to tie back into the Halloween thing, I did see a video of like this family that was handing out candy or whatever, and they videoed it. And as the kids were coming up, the kids were asking, which I think this is crazy. The kids were asking, "How many pieces can I take?" Which when I was a kid, I just assumed it was one, but I guess now it's okay to ask the question
Yeah.
of how many. And the parents would always say 6, 7, and these kids would go ballistic. Oh, 6, 7.
I know, it's
Yep.
so stupid.
It's a very easy laugh now. If you're of a
Jeremy
certain
was the
age.
one who had to educate me on 6, 7. Just
Oh,
so
another
everybody
fun trick
knows.
I did at Halloween one year was I had full size candy bars and then the mini size, and I was selective on who I would hand them to. And so like one of our neighbors came over. This is when we lived in our own neighborhood, and so our neighbor kids came over, and I gave the little girl a full size and the other kids like mini size, and I was like,
And
Did they look at you?
yeah, they were like, what is going on?
And no one goes to his house to trick or treat. We don't know why.
Oh yeah, we're curious as to why Jeremy gets no trick or treaters.
Well,
I should get like pocket Skittles. Just put some Skittles in my pocket.
loose Skittles, yeah.
Loose Skittles.
Yeah, some tots. Just give them some tots out of your pockets.
Just get one to take the edge off. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right. So, pickleball, pretty hardcore sport. But
Right.
are you all familiar with the Taco Bell 50K?
Yes, in Colorado.
Sounds like a
It's happening
terrible
again
idea.
next year. Oh, it sounds like a terrible.
Okay,
There
so
better be a
Terry
lot
is
of
going to do this.
porta-johns.
We have been
No, he's
talking.
not.
Yeah, we have been talking about it, and he's like, "I'm going to do it this year." So, well, in 2026, yes.
Well, it's pretty gross. You run 30 miles and you eat Taco Bell on the way.
Yeah, a lot of Porta Johns on the way.
It actually started. Okay, so
There's none because it's not an official thing.
Oh my goodness.
So it first started off with like 5 guys just doing this randomly, like hitting up all the Taco Bells within the range, and then I guess word got around, and then the year after it ended up being like 30, and then it got around again, and now there was thousands. There was thousands. So it's not really an official race, but it's meant to be like a fun race. Yeah.
So is Taco Bell actually active in this now?
No.
Since it's gotten
absolutely not. They all just run in randomly. It's you have to eat at every Taco Bell, and the first Taco Bell is where you end. So it's like a.
It's like
this sounds
it's
horrible.
like the bourbon chase, but with Taco Bell.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Like
exactly
where you're
what
not
it is.
running distilleries, you're running to Taco Bells.
It sounds horrific.
Yeah.
Yep.
So no one here else is interested.
Have you
I
ever-
will let you know after he runs it.
You're not going to do it.
No.
Well,
Have you ever seen or read the book Born to Run?
No.
It's really good. Like even if
Is
you
that
don't a runner, but it's when that like not the flat foot, but like the flat shoes started thing.
yeah.
And because these people ran in just like sandals, they were flat. But like these runners that he found out in Mexico, it ties into Taco Bell's. So all they ate were like beans and tortillas. And so like in the middle of these runs, they would just like pull out these like basically like tacos out of their pocket and eat them. And they also like, because like down there, like they lived out in the middle of nowhere. So like they also like smoked like this, it wasn't tobacco, but it was like tobacco.
Peyote.
And no, they said that like
Right.
he shows up to this big race in like Colorado or somewhere with these guys from Mexico who knew they could win. And he said they all walk up to the starting line and they're just like smoking these little like cigarettes, and then they like put them out and then take off running. And then like 4 miles in, they're like pulling tacos out of their like pocket and stuff.
There's so much wrong with
they
that.
ended up winning the whole race because they were like crazy fast and could run forever. But
It seems like that would
Yeah,
mess up
if
your
I
belly.
if I got up to a race and there's a guy just like sitting there smoking what I assume to be cigarettes, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna dust him, and then
Yeah.
to watch him run past me, dude, I would be so discouraged.
1,500 people this year ran that. It's
Whoa.
you have to stop and eat at 9 different Taco Bells.
what do you have to eat though? Is there like you have to
Just
eat a certain
something off
thing?
the item.
Off
Okay,
the-
so you
yeah,
can
you
just
don't
get
have
whatever
to-
you want.
Yeah, I'm just getting the cinnamon twist, brother. I am running away from the Taco Bells. Thank you.
But then you're just not really in the spirit of it.
Yeah, right.
But
You could just get a cheese roll up and block yourself up.
I
so.
like Taco Bell.
If they got a
So-
Chipotle
I do not.
50K, I might participate in a
Oh
Chipotle
gosh,
50K.
that's just asking for trouble.
that's even more. That's
That's
like
worse.
It's mostly organic ingredients, I believe.
Oh, you're talking to the wrong crowd.
Of what? What is?
Chipotle.
Oh,
Yeah, that face.
yeah. Anyway, it's a bad idea, and I'm excited though. Terry's going to be. in
Yeah,
it.
I'll let you know.
So
Yeah.
what if they made it? Never mind.
no, please.
Do you guys remember like
What if
in-
there's no porta potties on it? That would be the
That's what I
best.
was
Like,
thinking.
you
There's
have
none.
to,
There's none.
You have to run the
You have
whole
to
thing
figure it
without
out.
using
Well,
the bathroom.
No,
You could go at Taco Bell, the next Taco
you're
Bell.
stopping, and you're like, I'll be right back. I'll take a burrito when I get out. It's not a great thing.
Running culture is fascinating because, like, you know, when I did the bourbon chase, but even some of like the longer runs I've done, like, people are not opposed to just popping a squat somewhere, like on the side of a house, or like they'll do it wherever.
Penny's
Like
face.
it's
Some stories.
It's cool. I tell you, like one year during the Ironman, we went down there and watched it, and we were talking to the cop, and he'd been on like one of the other parts of the course. And he said the amount of people that do the race that just use the bathroom on themselves because they don't want to stop, they just they just go.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy.
I heard that.
Like,
I read that in Goggins' book. And
Yeah.
he just defecated on himself multiple
Yeah.
times just to get through the race, so he didn't have to lose
I
any
don't
time.
think
That
I
is
could
crazy. I'm
do
running
that.
with diaper rash is
Yeah.
wild.
I do that every Sunday back here. I'm just like, well, I don't have time to go, and we don't have toilets anyway, so I'm just gonna
You're gonna
let it
pull
loose.
up.
That was a jab. I feel it, Paul.
Well, not at you.
Okay, likely story, Paul.
Well, so here are the cool awards you get. It is a Fire Hot Packet medal.
Oh my goodness.
Looks pretty cheap, but all right. So
All right.
this is a physical thing we would not want to do, but we did not start out. Jeremy is not bragging. His team won the soccer championship. Since we've been here.
oh yeah, we did. We won the
Coach
city
Jeremy. Let's
championship.
go.
We beat the Oldham County teams. We beat the Northeast teams. This little lowly team from Shepherdville took them all down.
The Mighty Ducks of soccer.
We are.
That's killer.
Now, but did you?
Oh, and we destroyed teams too. It was so fun. I mean, it was look at Oldham County and be like 6-0, and I'm not even playing my best players.
Doesn't
Take
Elliot
that.
kind of remind you of someone from like the Mighty Ducks? Like he's
Oh, he was awesome when we won. I didn't know because like the championship game, like we were up 5-0, and then like I took everybody out and put like in some other players, and so they started coming back, but they only had like a couple. So it was all like trash goals. So I didn't know all my starters were behind me, and as soon as the ref blew the whistle, they all had bottles of water running on the field, like throwing them on each other, like
that's
taking
cool.
their shirts off and all this stuff. And I was like, guys, like calm down. It was fun though.
Well, I was going to tell you, in a different place in Oklahoma, a group finally won their championship, and then they chose to give it back. Did y'all hear this story?
No.
The girls basketball team won their high school championship at the Academy of Classical Christian Studies High School, which sounds very serious. They were reviewing the tape, watching some stuff, and they realized that the scoring was wrong. And they found out that the other team had scored a point that they were not given, or a basket. And they, as a group, decided to give back their championship trophy. So
I think that should have been done quietly.
Why?
If that's the case. Well, now they're like, it's kind of going over to like bragging
So,
that
well,
we
I
gave
don't
it
think
back.
was it
Call
a
the
whole
news.
basket or just a point? Because if it's just a
No.
point and you win by a buzzer beater, it
well,
ends in a tie.
the game had ended. They won 44-43, but it turned out it should have been 43-42. They had gotten 2 extra points. I apologize. So,
okay.
Wow.
And so as a team, they said, hey, we gave it back. So, Jeremy, if it turned out one of your players was ineligible, would you give the trophy back?
No.
Right? No.
What's done is done. They made the
It's like
decision.
the NFL. What's done is done.
Yeah.
I mean, in today's sports world, who's to say what's
I kind of
legal
agree.
and not legal and right?
I
and
think
not
the rule
right,
book
right?
is that.
Well,
Also-
is there a rule book anymore? Like you're
What?
What is classical Christian? Can we talk about that?
yeah.
Classical,
What-
not modern Christian. This is.
What is classical?
I
What?
mean, we're paying players. Nobody really knows
You're
what's
paying
going
players?
on. No,
What the
like
one?
in sports.
Okay. I was like, well, this makes a lot more sense.
No,
of why
I
you're
mean, like
dominating.
there's just
I'm with Jeremy on that.
David?
I'm interested actually in Penny what you said about that it should have been done quietly.
Well, don't you think like it's a Christian school? It's a bunch of girls that were like, yeah, now we're going to give it. It's like when people take pictures of them going to the hospital to see sick people. It's kind of the same concept. Like, do you really need to do an article about it?
I don't think the girls were like, well, we'll only give it back if we can call the news. I think it was like a big deal locally because, if like Trinity and St. X had a game and it turned out one of them won by whatever, it would be big local news because
Now, I think
People
there's
care about
also a
things like
difference. I didn't read the article because we're just not first seeing it. The other question would be, did they discover that they were supposed to win or lose, or did the other team figure out they were supposed to
the
win?
winning team realized, one of the coaches realized that they won.
Well, that makes it good. I was
error.
going to say, because it'd be different if it was like the other team's like, oh, actually, we were supposed to win. Then, yeah, you've got to like make a big deal about it. and be
Right.
like,
Well, this kind of ties into the I'm sure you guys have talked about this previously, but the Forrest Frank and the jelly roll thing. I
Yeah, we talked about it last
okay,
week.
Did
Yeah.
you? Okay. So, I mean, that's kind of the same thing, I guess, would be the story between that. It's like, do you need the publicity to go and do this? I mean, quietly, I agree is the, what I feel is the more right thing to do. But then again, also, I'm sure they're trying to get a little bit of publicity out of it too, of saying
Yeah.
that we're Christian doing the right thing.
They're classical Christian. Get it right.
Yeah, classical.
if they weren't classical, they would not have done it.
Yeah, right.
If they were just
They're modern like us.
Yeah, right.
Yes, their mascot is King James, just walking around with his Bible, just writing it down as he goes. Thou hast got a dunk. That's what. That is the dumbest thing I've ever said out loud on here. All right, well, so then one more thing before we get into it. Penny, you've been very fascinated by this, and I have too.
I can't wait.
And will be excited to hear David's take on this because you wouldn't know it by hearing, but David is like half our age. And it's pretty exciting because
That's crazy.
We accept him as an equal, but we each have a foot in the grave, and this guy, he is in the prime of his life.
Oh boy.
Fun things that you were taught as children, but what are you doing with them now? So now, David, let me ask you something. In your schooling, we talked a little bit about your youth before we got here, but
Sure.
when you got to school, how often did you think about things like quicksand? Was that ever an issue?
Quicksand. Excuse me.
How often do you do algebra?
We thought quicksand was a big deal. It was in every cartoon we ever watched.
Yeah, I mean, okay, now I understand the reference to the question. Yeah, I mean, we played games that were like, if you stepped in this, you were in the quicksand. It was kind of like the lava game.
No.
Okay, hold on.
This was
We're like frightened
this
of.
was educational.
If you were out on a hike, you would look at the ground, and if it looked like quicksand, you would avoid that.
Because that's a slow, painful death, friend, because you're not getting out of that.
Like we were told quicksand was a real problem.
Oh wow, yeah, no, not for me, not at all.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
Stop, drop, and roll. That was another one.
Well, stop, drop, and roll is still good.
That's actually like real. He's like that. Stop, drop, and roll.
It's really not though. Do you know anybody that's used it?
Yes. If you catch on fire, you have to put out the flames, and stop, drop, and roll is the best way to do it.
So want it out
Your
like that?
body. What are you gonna do? Run?
What?
Run and oxygenate the
wait,
fire.
oxygenate
Now,
the fire.
hang on.
Y'all are done.
I will give the gentleman the point that what you said was a little silly because I believe that a stop, drop, and roll is still something that you do.
I feel like we were taught a lot though.
It is. I did not know that was something. If that was something that was just if our generation was the last, or if But apparently, quicksand has been eradicated in our lifetime. So,
David, our generation made us drink like fluoride packets, and then we had to do that like once.
Oh, that was a good one we just saw. I don't know if we're going to the screen.
Oh, yeah,
yet.
we can.
But my face would get stuck like that. Like if you made a bad face.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, if you hit somebody on the back, yeah.
Hit somebody on the back.
no, that was
What?
the thing. If you made a face and somebody hit you in the head, that
That your face would stay that way forever, and I was scared of everything. I would never make a funny face at my grandmother's house because I was afraid I was going to get bopped on the head and it was going to stay that way forever.
All right, what are the other ones?
Step on a crack, break your mother's
I'm
back.
trying
Yep,
to
that's
find-
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, these are all like you need to
about
know what we've learned in
the
school
blue,
that's useless.
the blue blood, that's been proven false. That if you cut
I've never heard that before.
that blood inside of your body is blue, but when it
No,
gets
but
out
that
there-
statement, that blood that is on the way back to my heart has never been
no,
blue.
it's saying it has never been
okay.
blue.
I was like, what? I don't,
Oh, really? That's crazy. I thought that blood was still blue on the inside of your body until it gets oxygen. So
Yeah, that's like a thing that I've only learned in like the last few years. Like, what about driving with your dome light on?
that's illegal, was what I was told. If you drive with your dome light on, we're going to
it
get
should
pulled
be
over.
if it's not.
It's
It's
not.
hard to
It's
see.
not illegal because I told my kids that, and my wife looked at me and was like, "You don't really think that's true, right?" And I was like, "Well, that's what my parents said," and she went,
It's
"So
true.
it's
We're gonna
more
make it
annoying."
true.
It was just my parents wanting me to not have fun in the back seat. That's what it really
yeah.
boiled down to.
It turns out a lot of that is the truth. The swimming 30 minutes, wait 30 minutes after there.
Yeah, after you eat, you got to wait 30 minutes, which I don't know, maybe it was a placebo, but I feel like I felt that once upon a time. I ate and then jumped in a pool and was like, I thought I was going to drown because I had a cramp in my stomach.
Gas, trapped gas.
Yep. Just trapped gas. I could have used that to expel me upwards.
What about gum in your stomach if you swallow gum?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's still a
It takes
thing?
7
That's good.
years was what I was told.
Oh, yeah.
It takes 7 years to get it out.
You just-
And then watermelon seeds, it'll grow out of your ears. That's one.
Oh,
that-
out of your
Oh,
ear. I've
that's
not
fun.
heard
Haven't
of
heard
That's
that
a
one.
new
I've
one.
heard the
out of the stomach, but not out of the ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, I had more hopes for this, but that's fine. All right, so
I eat tons of carrots and I still have night blindness. There's a prompt on there. That's hilarious.
apparently, if you eat a lot of carrots, you see better, is what I was always told. Because
Really?
Yeah, beta carotene.
that was like it's good for your eyes, and you're like, that's yes, it is, I'm sure, but also it doesn't improve your eyes. Like it's not a sliding scale where if you keep eating them, you have.
I just imagine
night
somebody
vision.
out there that's gullible and has bad vision, just like eating carrots like Bugs Bunny, just chewing
tried
on them.
it.
Well, it's like people eating spinach because they thought they could get strong with Popeye.
Right.
You will get strong from eating spinach. It's good for you.
Spinach
I'll
in
take
a
your word
can.
for it.
Good,
good
for
vitamin.
you and getting strong from it is two different things.
You
Listen.
can't get strong from a good
Spinach?
vitamin.
Spinach.
It's minimal protein.
Spinach really benefited from Popeye. What we need is a cartoon to expel the benefits of sorghum instead of Popeye. Instead of spinach, pop that can of sorghum.
Sorghum is a superfood.
I know. That's why I was bringing it up.
Oh, wow.
All right.
You know what
I
makes
never
you
got the
strong is
sorghum
going
popcorn.
going to the gym, not just eating a can of spinach.
Oh, we heard when y'all go to the gym,
Yeah.
you two, not anybody else in the group.
That's a tie to yesterday's staff
Smelling
meeting.
salts and everything else.
Oh yeah, well, real quick, throw this out here. Okay, we were gonna cut this off because this is the last one. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Piranhas. You worried about
people?
piranhas?
Oh yeah, piranhas was definitely a scare. And to be honest with you,
are so scary.
I still have a scare of piranhas, even though I know that they don't exist. But I'm like I've seen these
they do
articles.
exist.
Well,
They
I'm
do
saying
exist.
he's talking
in the
about
areas-
around here.
I'm sorry, in the areas of where I'm swimming. Yes, there are piranhas, but I'm also like seeing these that they don't exist.
Like,
I'm out
dude.
here spreading false information.
I've not ever heard that conspiracy theory before. The government and their piranhas.
But I've also been seeing the stuff about like in lakes and stuff to where there's fish with teeth in them and all this other
those-
stuff.
Oh, there are.
I
There are
know.
scared
And-
looking teeth.
Yeah, that's
and,
crazy.
the river we go to, Barron, there are fish with teeth, and they are scary.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, fish with teeth, not great.
They won't bite you. Like, they're terrified of you. But no,
Right.
they are. You can see them. And if you put some, like, stuff in the water, they'll come up and they eat it, like, coming at the side. And you can see their teeth.
They'll take a bite of your sandwich.
Well, here's a crazy story real quick since we're talking about fish. So a friend of mine went down to Florida and they did some deep sea, or not deep sea fishing, but some like shore fishing. And anyways, they got this fish, and I can't remember the name of the fish, but it has jaws in its throat because what they eat is crabs. So like I was imagining like going noodling and sticking your hand down in this throat, and it would like crush your fingers. The guide was like, it would absolutely crush your hand if you did this.
So you
This
would go
thing's got nicer
noodling.
teeth than I do.
Well, those aren't the teeth I was talking about. But yeah, I've seen those before with the human.
Are those veneers?
That's a good looking guy there.
Not to get off subject, but I have beef with people who
Noodle?
who fish from the shore. It drives me crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Why do y'all do that?
Fish from the
Because
shore?
I don't have a boat.
Well, I mean, there's people around
better,
you.
Dave.
It always
I
drives
have a
me
boat.
crazy.
What are you
You're like
talking
a
about?
busy.
You have trouble with people that fish from the shore?
Yeah, you guys, there's people swimming and y'all are out there
Where are you talking
wrangling
about?
in the sharks.
Penny,
I'm
you're on your own. I don't
talking
know.
about from the ocean.
Where else do you want them to fish? Because
From the pier?
what if there's not a pier?
Then you go somewhere where there's
Because
not
like
any people.
40, 60 feet out there, they're going to
That's-
sink.
That's just my beef. That's fine.
It's just my beef.
And that's been beef with Penny. All right. Well, so,
Sound effect.
I don't like those
we'll add it in
fishermen.
post. She's not wrong. Last time we were in Destin, there were a lot of people they would set like 4 or 5 rods out and then just leave. Like, my
Bring in
kids
the
are here.
sharks.
And well, my kids are here.
Bring
Well, the
them in.
sharks weren't getting that close, but hooks are just kind of,
Yeah.
everything's going around. But
I think there's etiquette to it, in my opinion. I think like fishermen usually, like fisherman etiquette is that if you're going to do shore fishing, you try to be out by like 10, 11 a.m. because you know that the crowds are coming in. There's going to be kids, and you can't always like trust kids to, hey, stay away from this hook. You know there's hooks here.
kids are so
And
stupid.
most of them that I've seen, like they're not in the populated areas. Like they'll walk down 50 yards and they're still fishing from the shore.
No,
but-
people where I'm at, they're always fishing right behind the condo. You're like, all right, good job, guys. Way to go.
Yep.
All right, well,
Dumb fishermen.
dumb kids, dumb fish. It's
Jesus
just-
and his fishermen.
That's
they
the
used
beef.
nets. They weren't out there with they didn't leave poles and just go. We'll see you later. We're heading to Damascus. All right. Jeremy, thanks for bringing up Jesus because
Yeah.
Wait, are we going to do our thing before you go all serious?
we got a friggin' taste test. I
Yes.
forgot about it. So, hey,
Let's do
we'll
it.
set this up. We'll be right back with a taste test.
All right, what is the name of this one? He's gonna-
Let me know when you're ready.
Is that too many?
Now, apologies to Penny.
I don't know how I'm supposed to eat. So I'm just
Okay.
We had a taste test. Now, we've had delicious things like Oreos in the past, and we've had terrible things like
3.
Oreos that taste like Coke in the past. So today, Penny has brought us the Nature's Wild Berry.
They're miracle berries.
It's called TikTok Made Me Buy It.
I need
I was
one.
segment
influenced.
called
So are we supposed to just eat it, or do we like let it like
Chew it up?
like chew it on our tongue, like let it get on our tongue?
Come on, Paul.
That's
We don't read
disgusting.
directions.
I just told you it didn't taste good.
I need to get it on both sides.
Chew
so
for
don't
30
just chew.
seconds, moving the berry around your mouth. Swallow and enjoy.
This is
That's not great.
wow.
Okay.
Well, after a second, it just turns into nothing. I feel
But you
like.
got to chew it for 30 minutes. Or seconds, not minutes.
if I eat this lemon?
30 seconds. Okay, the idea is that
Some
it turns
ASMR from David. I like it. Yeah. That's not terrible. All right.
sour things sweet. And people have used this for like weight loss, apparently, like to the idea that you don't need to eat as many sweets. But I just want to play with it. So you can try a sour punch
I'm going to have a.
candy, or we have a lemon.
I'm gonna do
We also
the
have
lemon.
some sour. Oh, it also actually it does taste as sweet.
It doesn't taste that sour.
Wow.
It's still sour, but it's not.
It's
sour.
not. This is
me
almost
try this.
Swedish. It's
Yeah.
almost like I'm eating a lemonade.
This pickle still tastes like pickle.
Wow, that is not sour at all.
That's what I'm saying. That is wild.
All right, let me try the lemon. Okay, did you try the pickle?
I did.
How was it?
Just like a pickle.
It doesn't change it.
How long do I get?
This
I feel
lemon
like
is
this
wild, though.
timed. I feel like eventually I'm gonna bite into this lemon.
40
and it's
minutes.
gonna be like-
You just
20 to
ruined
40
Sour
minutes.
Patch Pots because there's no sour. It's just like eating sugar.
I'm sorry for all the noise. This lemon is weird.
It tastes like lemonade, doesn't it?
It tastes just like lemonade.
That's
I'm
crazy.
Creeped out.
And almost like the sweet lemonade too, like you get at the fair where they put like 12 gallons of sugar in it.
Yeah, let's shake it up.
Yeah, none of this is sour anymore.
Ooh, that's good. Mm-hmm. I'm into that.
Yeah.
If only lemons were a superfood.
Well, there you go, guys.
These pickles smell. Can they do something about the smell of the pickle?
Oh, I can't do.
Can you hand me the sour punch thing?
It ruins them.
This is so good.
It does make. Hey, listen, if you ever just want to eat a raw lemon, have some of these berries first because it really.
The pickle still tastes like a pickle, but there's no sourness to it. It's
So the sour candy, the just
There's
the
no
straight,
sour there
it
anymore.
just tastes like sugar.
it tastes like sugar. It's crazy.
Well, I mean,
do
it
you
is
do with
sugar,
this-
but
the slime.
Just dip it on your. Dip it on your.
dip it on your lemon.
Oh, there we go.
Double dip.
All right. Well, that's weird.
Well, that worked.
That's fun.
So, what was the point of that?
It was fun.
It's called TikTok Made Me Buy It.
This is
So
her new
did it
segment.
work? Yes.
She bought this off of TikTok, which
How
what
I
is
did
that?
not.
How much were these
Amazon.
berries?
$75. I'm just kidding. Not,
How much were the berries?
I'm not
just
telling
curious.
you.
Why?
Because
she got a deal on TikTok. Don't worry.
I
about
mean,
it. There's no price tag on it.
I'm gonna be honest. This slime with
I
the
think they were
lemon
like 17.
and these berries is a pretty good combination. I
Yeah.
might just snack on these at the crib.
$17.
I don't think it's a bad deal. I think it's pretty cool. Here's what you
I'm
do,
gonna take it home. My kids will love it.
Read the whole bag right
David.
now.
don't.
Yeah.
Jeremy will die. Don't do that, Jeremy. All right. So you get
that was fun.
You get a couple of these. You hold them for Sunday, and then you just walk in when the kids come in, and you just have a lemon that you're just chewing on.
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
anybody
can
want these new lemons? They're delicious. And then you just give them a real lemon.
Oh, I got some fun games for you.
Okay.
So we did this. Did you work with youth? So it deals with
Jeremy
stuff.
famously was loved by youth, but
Yeah, they also hated me.
destroyed.
So we used to
several
do
children's lives.
Kool-Aid drinking contests. Like
Okay.
we would bring in like this crazy Kool-Aid, and so they would do like put 4 cups out there, and like how fast can you drink the Kool-Aid? So you get like 3 participants, and so they're just like slamming these little cups of Kool-Aid. But the 4th cup we made with salt instead of sugar.
Oh,
and it takes
no.
about 20 seconds for your brain to register that you
Yep.
just and did that. And then we also did instead of this would be good for the fall. Do a caramel apple eating contest.
Ooh.
But one of them is actually a caramel onion.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's
I've
And
heard
so,
of
like, you
that.
bite into it, and so, like, but you make it look like a caramel apple. Like, you dip it,
Yeah,
and put
right,
nuts
right,
on
right.
it, and then
Put a little stick on it.
one
and
little
everything.
participant gets an onion instead of an apple, though.
One of them would be the Grinch. So just like, oh yeah, this is the best.
And then you
Caramel
eat
coconut.
one of these berries, then you can eat
Pickles
as
are
many
good, aren't
onions
they?
as you want.
Yeah, pickles are good.
Pickles are good.
They kind of taste like nothing.
Let me
though.
try it because I absolutely hate pickles.
Oh,
I'm
you're
not a
they're
kinda
st- they
tastes like
still taste
nothing.
like a
Does it?
pickle.
Oh lordy.
It still has the dill, but it's not like a pickle taste.
I wonder how long that lasts. I didn't try
20 to
the
40 minutes, it said.
I'm gonna
No.
It's okay. We're cutting all this. This is real boring.
What is the most sour thing you
pass
could eat? We need to try that.
that's why I brought the lemon.
Oh, this stuff more sour than lemon.
Warheads used to make
Ooh,
my
Warheads.
face turn.
That right there is super sour.
Like I know that this slime liquor right here.
Talk of them.
Yeah, no, I know that that's definitely super. What was the word I'm looking for?
Sour.
Sour. There we go.
All right.
Sour has
Couldn't
lost
hear
his
myself
brain.
anymore.
That was fun.
All right. So, Jeremy, got a question for you.
Yes.
You can set this. Well, first, what's all over your shirt?
Things that he was just eating a moment ago.
Little sugar pellets.
This is what we were talking about at the staff meeting yesterday.
really
He just
enjoyed
keeps
it.
it in his beard for later.
Lasagna.
All right. Well, this is actually from.
Got some boiled egg for later.
That's going to smell if we go outside. All right. From our meeting from 2 weeks. No, from last week. Not from Tuesday, but from last week. Tell me, Jeremy, who wrote the Gospels?
Different people.
All right. Well, that's been the episode. All right. So
We don't know. The only one we know who wrote would be Luke.
and who wrote that?
Luke.
Okay. Because see, this is a thing when they were busy teaching us about quicksand as children and things like that, they were also saying, "Hey, this is the Gospel of Matthew."
Oh, we know
Guess who wrote
John.
it?
We know John is it, we don't think he wrote it. We think he dictated it because he would have been old and in prison when he wrote it, or on the Isle of Patmos. But
Well, I don't
he
count who
dictated
wrote
that.
it down
Yeah.
as the person if someone was saying it. I
So
would count
the
that
one we
person.
don't know very much about, although most people would ascribe it to Peter, is Mark's. Mark's gospel is considered Peter's gospel. Matthew is not written by, we don't believe was written by the apostle Matthew, but it is his version of what would have happened.
Well, so then where does that come from? If it's Matthew's version, like Taylor's version, it's from Taylor because she put her stamp on it. But Matthew's version of the gospel,
So, I mean,
he didn't write it. So what does that mean?
so the gospels too, you got to remember, are probably written, and people would disagree with this, but my estimation, the first one, which is probably Mark's, is probably 30 years after Jesus. So it's not like next week or even
Right.
within like a decade.
They weren't walking around with notepads. I get it.
No, but people that would witness these things would still be alive. And there would have been, of course, it goes back to oral tradition. Not a lot of things were documented back then.
Right.
So, like, even if something happened doesn't mean it was documented. There was a huge news, like what we consider like breaking news. Like, I mean, like the plane crash here in Louisville. Like, I mean, that's all over the place and there's all kinds of reports and stuff. Something like that, not a plane, obviously, but could have happened in the first, like, so when Nero burned down like half of Rome, like there's no like actual reports of that happening when it happened. Like, it's all like we're studying the history of it. But does that make sense? So like, it wouldn't be like today where something happens and immediately gets written down, or even someone thinks to write it down. So it would have been oral stories. So what I mean by who wrote it is we believe that Matthew would have been the oral telling of Matthew's version. Because after Jesus died, they're starting to go around and tell these stories, and people are talking about these things, and they're going to the people that witness these things, which have been the apostles and stuff. So that's why Mark is considered Peter's gospel, because it more than likely it would have been his rendition of what happened. Matthew would have been kind of Matthew's version of what happened. And then Luke actually is charged to write the gospel and also charged to write the book of Acts. He's like, he's an historian. And then John is the one that's not a synoptic gospel, and it comes much later than the other three. But it's very, very different than the other three.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so the way it was being brought up quickly is it sounded more like someone wrote it and then they just attributed it to someone else. But I get what you're saying now.
No, it would have been like I'm not saying that now John we think was probably dictated. So like he's telling the stories and someone's probably writing it down like a scribe or something.
But like first, like he's saying it right to somebody as opposed to Matthew is telling somebody and then they're telling
These
somebody.
would be based on like oral stories that come from because the other thing too is as the church begins, a lot of these, so like it's like when, I can't remember what book it's in because my brain's not working. But like when Paul talks about like some of you say you follow Apollo, some of you say you follow Peter, some of you say, so like even though they're all following Jesus, like certain people are starting to follow these church leaders and like ascribe to them like certain value. And so like, and it's also written to different audiences. So Matthew is written to a Jewish audience. Mark is written kind of in general. Luke is written to like a Roman kind of general audience, and then John is like the synoptic gospel, which is kind of written more to like a Gentile type thing. So
Okay.
Actually, I said that completely wrong. Matthew, my brain's catching up with me. Matthew is written to a Jewish audience. Mark is written to a Roman audience, and Luke is written to a Gentile audience. And then John is coming in and just saying what he wants to say.
All right. I like that.
Okay, so when did like the books of the Bible, let's say the Gospels, when did they, like, were they named that? I mean, who went out and named all the books of the Bible? Like, even in the beginning, like the Genesis, like where did that come from? Like who named all those?
Well, Genesis would have been part of the Pentateuch. So
would it have already been named Genesis?
Yeah, because Genesis is just the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the books of the law, the Pentateuch, or the Torah. So those are Old Testament. So those are in our Bible because they were part of again, if you go to a Jewish person and say the Old and New Testament, they'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. But it would have been part of the Jewish scriptures.
They don't like it when I say it, call it Jewish Bible because it's not a thing.
It's not a Jewish Bible. Yeah, it was been their scriptures. But like the name, like, so, I mean, it's like that stuff comes much later. So that probably the naming of the books, the way we see them, would have been after that they were canonized.
Okay.
Which comes much later.
Right.
Which canonization is a whole thing that like we could spend 45 minutes talking about it and you'd have a lot of questions.
We should.
That
sounds awesome.
I like it. We can do a special.
So, but it goes back to that theory that like, and I always explain this in the What is the Bible class, like people think that literally the Bible was just like, it's almost they think it came across like we think of Joseph Smith with the Book of Mormon.
Right, yeah.
That he found these tablets, he got the magic goggles, and that's not how the Bible came about at all. It is very much like, yeah, I mean, it's very, very different. It took a lot of time to put together. It took a lot of time for them to decide what books were going to be in there, and because some books got cut, didn't make the cut. You can still find a lot of those. And some of those books, came much later that even like, I think it was was it Thomas's Gospel? It might have been, was even like, we know for a fact was late 2nd century. So like, we're not talking like 30 years. We're talking like 100 years after Jesus, and they almost put it in there. There was some discussion about whether that should go in there or not.
Okay, so like, can you give me a time frame of like when the first Bible was like put together?
The canonization of it varies, but I'm wanting to say, you can look this up, but I'm wanting to say it's like 370, 360 is when it been the canonization of it.
Like just with every book of the Bible in it, like that we see now.
I'm trying to remember when Hebrews got added.
I like it.
I mean, you're also
Hebrews and then the book
No,
of Enoch, too.
there's
Wasn't
something
that-
I'm coming to when I ask that because I'm wondering.
I think Hebrews was maybe one of the last ones to be officially accepted because we don't know who the author is. Although most scholarship would say that a lot of people attribute it to possibly Mary Magdalene, but they don't say who it is because it wouldn't have been taken seriously coming from a female writer.
Do you believe that
What?
certain?
I was like, yeah.
Do you believe that anything has like? Do you believe that everything that we have in our Bible that's been found is it, or do you believe there are probably other things out there that we don't know about?
For a fact that the Corinthian letters that there's more. We don't have access to. They're gone. Like we don't. And I mean, the chances of us finding them are not. But like the way that Paul writes those letters it's very obvious that those weren't the only letters. You know, the question I always talk about when people are doing the what is the Bible class, and this is a question, and so people will like get all ours when I say this, but it's just a good question. A lot of the stuff that's in the Bible, a great question to ask is, did they know they were writing the Bible? Like when Peter writes his letter, or like specifically when, is it Timothy, when Paul writes to Timothy to drink a little wine because his stomach's upset, like, he didn't know, like, it's like a very obvious, he didn't know he's writing what we would call the Bible. He was writing a letter to a church and a church leader that was of great importance, and he knew it was in great importance to the early church, but did he necessarily know that was the Bible? And so, like, the idea that the Bible came to us like these golden tablets is not true, and the idea that, you know, there's a term for it, I can't think of it, talk about it in my What is the Bible class, but almost like that these guys were not like in a trance, like writing words down and it became the Bible. Like, these were based on oral traditions. We know that for a fact. We know there were stories, especially about Jesus, told, and that's also why the Gospels, they look different. So, like, even in the stories we see about Jesus, there's different details in them. Doesn't make one right or one wrong. It would be like if 4 of us witnessed something, and then 5 years later we came to each of us and said, tell us what happened. We would all probably remember different details of that thing happening. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Doesn't mean that it changed whether it did or didn't happen. But you might emphasize one part. David might emphasize another part. Paul might emphasize another part. And that's just part of it.
Right, and how they structure the storytelling as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, some people or some of the Gospels were written almost as a story, as like what was told in the Old Testament of the Torah, kind of explaining a story that way. I think that's the Gospel of Luke is that way. But
well, Luke would have been an historian. So Luke, when he wrote his, so if you read Luke and Acts, they write well, they go well together as a pairing. But Luke was writing; he is paid by Theophilus to write an account of Jesus' life. So he is an historian, so he would have written it from an historical perspective.
okay, gotcha.
Well, I think this kind of thing is interesting and important to remember and to even think about, because, I mean, I don't know about your all's past, but for sure mine, like, you just, like, it's the Bible, believe it, you know, all right, but you don't really even know where it comes from, because, I mean, we know that somebody didn't just like sit down like, I'm writing the Bible.
It didn't magically appear. Right. And I think that people think that even to the end of the day, if somebody was like, no, I really don't believe that. Well, you kind of were taught that. Like, you kind of like, because if you don't do the hard work of finding how we actually got, and that's what like what I do is the What is the Bible class. I mean, we're just scratching the surface on a lot of like what people call controversial things I say about the Bible. And they're not controversial at all. Like, we know this is historically factually true about these things. And they'll be like, well, it doesn't sound right. And I'm like, it's because you never were taught that. Like, so you just believed it just magically appeared.
Not even taught, but never even told. Like, it's never even, people get in fights and
It'd be a huge argument.
Whatever.
I get in trouble all the time, but like one of my professors early on when I was doing my master's, he said, the scary part about the Bible is how human it is. And people were like, well, what does that mean? Because it's divine. And I'm like, and you know, people will go to that verse that Paul talks about where all scripture is God breathed. So my professor like brought up this brilliant point. He says, what was he talking about? And because if you study that would have been one of the early letters written. So the Gospels themselves hadn't been written down yet. So when he says all scripture is God breathed, it doesn't mean that God's not a part of it. But like a great question is, well, what scriptures was he talking about? Because that would have been a statement that Paul wrote or said before there were other scriptures other than the Old Testament for us to even be talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so people don't think about that. Like, you don't think about like the Bible's not chronologically written. It's not even close to chronologically written.
Right.
You know, people talk about it's like one story, you know, I mean, people say these great things and it sounds nice, like that it's one story that carries out. Well, no, it's actually multiple stories, and even it's retelling of stories. So that's when you get into like Second Temple literature. David's story, like in the Old Testament, there's 2 tellings of David's story, and they're very, very different. So it's not always, now it doesn't mean that the story changes, but it's not always one singular path. Like there are reasons that's another question. Like the first question you have to ask is, why did they write this down? Because it was very hard. It was very expensive. You had to find scribes. You had to find a way to preserve those things. And so if it was that important, because there's a lot of other things like that we know, especially, my brain is slipping, but like you have the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament, but then there's also is it the Nevi'im? I can't think of it. I'll look it up in a minute and we can edit it later. There's a whole nother section of Jewish writings and scriptures that they considered as important as the text, but it was so much they couldn't write it all down. Does that make sense? And so they also follow those things as well. Now that's in the Jewish faith, but that's just a great point of like, there's a lot more to it than just like, here's a book and just pick it up and figure it out.
I mean, I think it's good. I think you said several times What is the Bible class? Is that coming back in 2026?
Yeah, we'll do it again in the beginning of 2026.
So look for that on the app or the social media. We'll make a big deal when that comes out because this stuff is very interesting to me. Like I was saying earlier, like I think people, for years and years, they argue and they fight, and people, probably wars and things fought over things that you just read it. You don't even understand really even what you're looking at and what you're talking about when you fight. That's the point
of the class is like people will push back on things, which I'm happy to. I think that's the beauty of it is we can all have different ideas. But my question a lot of times is, well, why do you believe that? And then when someone's like, well, I don't know why, I'm like, well, it's because someone told you that. And, most things in church tradition, this is where it comes down to is somebody says, this is the way we do it, or this is what we believe. Well, why? Well, what you'll find out is, because they were told that by this person was told that by this person, there are so many things we believe that are biblical that when you actually get to the source, it doesn't even trace back to the Bible. It's just somebody said it and it sounded good and it worked at the time. And so, and like we talked about this before, like a lot of the stuff we do in the church, even today, still just comes out of Catholicism.
Yeah.
It's, it just came out of Catholicism. So when Protestantism broke off, it's all pretty much Catholics becoming Protestants. And so they took, the Pope stuff out and all that. But like the practices of the church, a lot of that just came from Catholicism.
And ironically, an oral tradition that's not biblical.
Yeah.
And you're just taking what you've heard from time before, and attributing to that. Well, it's fascinating. I like that. Look at the Bible because it's nothing that, growing up in the churches I grew up in, you ever would dare to.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think growing up, people were afraid that we would ask questions. Mm-hmm. And some of it was because they didn't know the answers. It wasn't that there weren't answers out there. And that's like the difference I actually talked to one of my buddies I've quoted on here a lot, Chris Keith, recently. And he got out of academia, but that's what he talked about. There's this great divide between academia and scholarship and church world. And they don't always fit because I'm not saying this, but most pastors would not survive in academia or scholarship because academia and scholarship is all about asking questions, even in areas you think you know. Well, in church world, everybody wants black and white. Academia is like, oh, there's so much gray that it doesn't even, like the black and the white, it's like a little thin line and all the rest of it's gray. And so that's the hard part of some of this stuff when it comes to the Bible is academia and scholarship, is asking different questions than the church world is asking, especially like pastors.
Well, I understand it because I feel like a lot of people, they deep down, they're worried that they would lose an argument or be proven that what they believe is false, where I think if you really get into it and study it, makes it more like you can prove it more than.
You should be okay with that. That goes back to like Peter. Peter, like, it's in the story.
I'm sorry, I meant like their faith in general.
No,
like
but I'm saying like that's the beauty of it is like to believe something and could be completely wrong. Like Peter, like had to be proven wrong that he could be with Gentiles. Right. Like he believed that he was doing the right thing by ostracizing Gentiles. And so finally he has this dream where he's eating like all these things that he was told before were unclean. And I think even in that story, it's like, it's saying like, you can be wrong and it's okay. Like, and he had to work through that. So like, even in those stories, like we see in the Bible, like, it was okay. Paul has issues with Silas and, and Mark and anyway, there's all kinds of stuff in there that, yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. It's like, this is the kind of thing I like to end it with when I just ask a question and then I get my own little study class. So, All right. Well, closing thoughts, anybody? David, it was great having you here. You got anything?
Thank you guys for having me. This was a blast. I will definitely love to do this again. This was good.
Really good. Love to have you back on here, Penny.
Yeah. So Jeremy doesn't tie his shoes. It's extremely distracting. But one thing right now, you have like a lemon seed on.
Oh, I'm saving that for later.
Okay, I thought maybe you were going to save it in your beard, but that's fine. You can save it in your shoe. Okay, that's it.
Okay, well, what else?
We're all ADHD, whatever you want to say.
That could have been off air, but we appreciate you letting everybody know.
We're leaving it in. All right. We'll talk to y'all next time. Thanks.
All right. Shut them down.